What's up, guys? Welcome to Aftershock. I'm Aaron, and today I'm going to be bringing you the full results and my review of WWE SmackDown brand's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view for 2017. Without further ado, let's start off with the kickoff show, the pre-show. Ty Dillinger was added to the United States title match to make it a triple threat. Aiden English joined the panel to sing and back Rusev up a little bit. Baron Corbin was interviewed. Charlotte was in the social media lounge. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin faced off against the Hot Bros in the kickoff matchup. The Hot Bros gained a little momentum at the start. Gable missed the moonsault, then hit it on Mojo a little bit later. Gable and Benjamin hit a second rope backbreaker double team, and Gable rolled out of it so fluidly, so smooth-like. He rolled out of it to take Ryder off the apron. Benjamin hit pay dirt, but Mojo broke it up. Gable and Benjamin end up winning via a powerbomb springboard heart attack-like double team maneuver, which was very cool. You don't see a double team move like that all too often, so that was a cool move to see. I guess they're going to start using that as a finisher now, I guess. I seen last week on SmackDown they actually hit a really cool move. It was like a double flipping neckbreaker type of maneuver, but I've seen two really good moves, double team moves out of them that they could use either one of those moves as their finisher, and I think it could get over. A decent match, but honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad to have Shelton Benjamin back. Always been a big fan of Shelton's, and I'm glad to have him back. Now on to the main show. We had the first match, which was the first Hell in a Cell match. The New Day versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Both teams immediately get weapons. Woods ends up bringing out a rainbow-colored kendo stick, kind of like you could call it a unicorn stick. Big E missed the apron spear and hit the cell wall. Jey Uso dove into Woods. Big E hit the apron spear later, and he hits it and knocks them back into the cell wall. It was kind of a cool way to hit the apron spear. New Day had two trombones, green and red. They pulled out a cowbell and a gong and a mallet, which was wild. They used that as a weapon. The Usos team up on Big E with the kendo sticks. They used the hip attack in the corner of the cell with the kendo stick in front of their chest. That was cool. New Day hit a sick apron Uranagi backstabber to the floor combo. Big E hit the Uranagi off of the apron, and as one of the Usos was coming down off of it, Woods slid under and hit the backstabber on the floor. It looked like Woods took a lot of that, but he did have his knees up, so they could have helped him a little bit. That move just looked brutal, and it was wicked looking. It really was. New Day hit the Midnight Hour for a near fall. They tied Jay in the corner of the cell using kendo sticks through the chain link. He was in the corner tied up like this, and they put the kendo sticks, there was like 3 or 4 of them, 5 maybe, like across in the chain link, holding him there. That was cool. That was really inventive, really cool to see. Big E kicked out of 2 tandem splashes. They handcuffed Woods around the LED post and used kendo sticks on his ribs and just beat the hell out of him. Big E swatted after they done all that damage to Woods. They came in the ring, tried to do it to Big E, and Big E just swatted the stick down, and that was a really cool spot. This is me now. This ain't Woods, This is Big Boy now. That was a cool spot. Big E used the stretch muffler, but it got broke up. The Usos hit the double splash. Woods saved it. The Usos end up winning via another double splash on Woods with the chair after the use of more kendo sticks. This match was probably the match of the night, in my opinion. 8 of 10. Solid, easy 8 of 10. Next, we had AJ Styles quoting Tom Petty in an interview, and then Rusev versus Randy Orton. Rusev hit a fall-away slam into the barricade. Randy hit his back suplex into the barricade. Rusev reversed the power slam and an RKO. Then Randy hit the power slam. Rusev reversed the drape DDT and hit the big side kick for a near fall. Randy rolled out to avoid the accolade. Somebody in the crowd, they kept screaming, "Happy Rusev Day!" And it was just hilarious. It made the match for me, just that alone. Rusev misses a splash, and Randy hits the drape DDT. Rusev tried to reverse the RKO into the accolade. Randy dropped down to the floor taunt. Rusev reversed it, got out of the way, and tried to lock on the accolade, but then Randy slithers between his legs like the snake he is, and then hits the RKO and wins. Match wasn't anything too great. It was a decent match, I guess. 6 of 10. It was standard. Next, we had Kurt Angle and Heath Slater doing a KFC commercial. And then we had the triple threat for the United States title match. Ty Dillinger, the newly added competitor, versus Baron Corbin versus champion AJ Styles. Ty and AJ double-teamed Corbin at the start. They chased him and cornered him at the announce table. AJ and Ty traded a series of pin attempts. The spot where Ty was in the corner and AJ rolled and Corbin slid around the ring post to the outside and back in was really cool. There was so much movement there. I love those spots like that where everybody's moving, everybody's doing their spots at the same time, and they just seem to hit, and fall in line. I love those spots. Ty gets momentum after Corbin goes to the outside. AJ countered the tiebreaker. Ty countered the Styles Clash. AJ gets him back in it. Then he reverses it again. AJ locks on the calf crusher. Corbin stops Ty from tapping. He grabs his hand and stops him. Corbin hit deep 6. Corbin caught a springboarding AJ into a chokeslam backbreaker. They played up on Dillinger's win over Corbin. Ty Dillinger super kicked Corbin. AJ Pele kicked Ty Dillinger, and he fell into a pin attempt onto Corbin, like all nonchalantly, not knowingly. That was kind of a cool spot, playing up on his win over Corbin. AJ hit the springboard 450. AJ reversed the tiebreaker, hit the phenomenal forearm. Corbin kicks AJ out of the ring, takes advantage of the phenomenal forearm, and Corbin gets the 3 count, and we have a new U.S. champion. I knew it was only a matter of time before Corbin got one of those mid-card titles, but he finally gets it. Next, we have Charlotte Flair versus Natalya for the women's title. They played up on them knowing each other so well with a lot of reversals in the beginning. Natalya worked the legs. She reversed the moonsault with a powerbomb. Natalya runs Charlotte's knee into the steps, still working on the leg. Charlotte reversed the sharpshooter, flipping Natalya into the bottom turnbuckle. That bottom buckle is becoming a trend with the women's matches. It seems like every women's match, somebody gets hit with that bottom turnbuckle, and then that leads into the finish. This happens yet again in this match. Charlotte hit the moonsault to the outside, but Natalya grabbed a chair and gets disqualified. Charlotte Flair wins via disqualification, but Natalya retains. Match was decent, nothing special. 6 of 10. Next, we have the Fashion Files returning. And it seems in this episode, the Ascension only want to be their friends. And they're leaning more towards the 2B Bludgeon Brothers. The Ascension said that. It makes sense, but I kind of think it may be a swerve. Or it may be just be a case of WWE telling us straightforward what's going to happen. They've done it before. It may just end up being the Bludgeon Brothers. And the Ascension all along maybe really just wanted to be their friend. Or the Ascension could turn on them, start up a feud, and then the Bludgeon Brothers could interrupt in that feud. Anything can happen here. It's the Fashion Police. It's Breezango. No, I enjoy the Fashion Files. Not gonna lie, I enjoy them. Next, we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship. They fought outside. Mahal tried to ground Nakamura. Nakamura hit the corner drape knee for a near fall. He took out the signs the sayings. I don't know why I keep calling them the signs. I maybe have it misspelled. But he took out the saying, hit the apron knee. Mahal avoided the diving apron knee that he hits after that first knee. Nakamura reversed the Colossus and hit the middle rope diving knee. The brothers come to the apron. Nakamura rolled him up for a near fall. The brothers were ejected. Nakamura hit the Kinshasa. The ref was distracted, and Jinder got to the ropes. Nakamura reversed the Colossus. Jinder avoided the Kinshasa, and Jinder Mahal retains via hitting the Colossus. He actually won this time, like, pretty. I mean, the brothers, the Singh brothers are still there, but it was more convincingly more clean. 6.5 of 10 I gave it. Wasn't the best match, but I'm also I'm actually a big fan of Jinder Mahal and what he's doing. A lot of people are going to laugh at this, but he reminds me a lot of an early 2000s Triple H when he had that long world title run that led into Evolution. He had that really long run. He feuded with RVD and Goldberg, Shawn Michaels. Jinder Mahal reminds me of that Triple H. I know. You don't have to say it. Just my opinion. Next, we had Kevin Owens taking Dasha's mic and cutting a promo backstage. Then we had Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph's music shut off. He enters to no music and a black screen, which I thought something like that was probably going to happen. Either that or he was going to do the glorious entrance. But I actually like this a little bit better. I'm glad they done that. Came out on the following week on SmackDown same way. Fairly basic match. Roode hit a Uranagi for a near fall. Dolph reversed the glorious DDT, hit the satellite DDT for a near fall. Dolph went to the sleeper multiple times. He hit the Famouser. Roode reversed the super kick with the spine buster. Dolph reversed the glorious DDT again. They rolled from one corner of the ring to the adjacent corner in Okada rolls. Dolph tried to get the tights, but Roode ended up rolling him back. Roode grabs the tights, and Roode wins the match via the Okada rolls. And post-match, Dolph gets upset, and he hits the zigzag on him after the match. Next, we have the main event, and the main event Hell in the Cell match. Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens. Falls count anywhere. They fought outside the cell immediately. Shane hit the capoeira kick, something new out of Shane, which was really cool. I mean, granted, it didn't look like Johnny Mundo, it didn't look like John Morrison, but nonetheless, it was a decent-looking capoeira kick, and I liked it. It was something new out of Shane. Owens tried to shut himself up in the cage away from Shane, just playing his heel character. That was great. Owens grinded Shane's face across the cage in front of his children, and then he did his taunt to him, that was just great. KO's facial expressions were awesome all throughout this match. Owens hit the cannonball for a near fall. Shane got the knees up for the senton bomb. Shane missed the shooting star press. Owens hit the frog splash for a near fall. Shane reversed the pop-up powerbomb with a triangle choke. Owens rolled out, reversed the triangle choke into a powerbomb on the steel steps. Owens set Shane up on the table against the cage to be ran and dove off the apron into a cannonball through the table, but Shane ends up moving, and Owens cannonballs himself through that table and hits the cell. Shane used half of that table as a weapon. Shane hit the coast to coast with the trash can. KO got the foot on the ropes. Shane used the bolt cutters to open up the cage door. Owens teased jumping off the cell onto Shane on the announce table, but he was like kind of afraid. He was playing it in his head like, oh, I can't do this. He was up there freaking out. Then Shane comes up to get him. They fight on top of the cell for a while. Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb on top of the cell. Owens fell off the side of the cell wall through the announce table, kind of like 2 or 3 years ago. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose did that. They fell off the side onto the announce tables. Kevin Owens done the same thing here. Shane jumped off onto Owens, but at the last minute, doing Shane's famous diving elbow off the cage. At the exact last second, Sami Zayn shows up out of nowhere from under the table, pulls KO off the table. Shane crashes and burns, and I'm guessing, well, now we know that it is, in fact, a Sami Zayn heel turn. It is not. I figured at the time maybe he could just come out on SmackDown and just play his too nice of a character, and didn't want that to happen to even Kevin Owens and him still being a babyface. But no, it is in fact, like we had all hoped, a Sami Zayn heel turn. Sami and Kevin are in fact back to being best friends and brothers. After Zayn saves Kevin's life, he drags Kevin's